Hey, good morning, everybody. It is March 19th, 2026. This is the Oregon Board of Chiropractic Examiners meeting. We shall get started. Are there any members of the public that want to make comments that are not related to any agenda items? Okay. All right. Seeing and hearing none. Oh, don't give me an error message. We will move on. Oh, brother. Okay, so on to the consent agenda. Any comments on today's agenda? Any amendments anybody wants to make? Okay. All right, since there's no changes, we can just move on to the minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay. I actually found an error in the minutes.
Ah.
Yeah, and I sound more excited maybe than I should be. But let me find the page. It was on, excuse me, on page 7. It was the under number 8 on the OAR 811-020-0006 when we did when we initially failed the motion and then passed it the second time. I'm recorded under there as a nay vote on the second one, and that should be a yes vote.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually went back and watched it too, just to make sure.
No, yeah, I can get that, and I have saved it as amended.
That was the only thing that I saw. Right, Lori, did you see anything?
I did not see any errors or typos.
Anybody else notice anything? Okay, so since there was a change now, do we need to approve as amended?
Yeah, you can just do a motion and second on that.
Okay. So I move to approve the minutes, the January 28th, 29th minutes as amended.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll vote. Scott?
Aye.
Corey?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
I don't think. Okay, no John yet. Lori?
Aye.
Micah?
Aye.
And I for myself. Motion passes. Okay. And then we'll move on to the ED report.
Great. Good morning, everyone. For our 25-27, as of the end of January, when we just did our reconciliation, we have an estimated ending cash balance of $568,913, which is approximately 5.62 months of expenditure reserve, which is a really good improvement from where we were. We just submitted yesterday our budget projections for 27-29. So I'm always confused as to what year I'm in for the most part. And those budget projections actually look really promising. There's a question outstanding to CFO and LFO whether we're going to need to do another fee increase. If you remember that we had previously gone through a 30% increase, but originally wanted to do a 45% at that time. So we're looking at that. I will provide you more information when I get more information, but just to give everyone a heads up that may be coming down the pike, depending on what is happening on that side of things. I wanted to send out a huge congratulations to Krista and staff for our fiscal year 2025 accounts receivable honor roll. So thank you so much for getting everything timely and accurately and being recognized such. It's really appreciated, especially since Krista, you jumped in midway through that fiscal year and took over that. So thank you very much. As y'all may notice, our public agendas and everything that we put out on our website and to the listserv is now ADA compliant. So all the PDFs and Word documents are going to be compliant with the federal ADA requirements. The only thing that may change in our public meeting agenda is that we're likely going to just add our seal. And so just to make it look a little bit more official than what you're seeing right now. But that's neither here nor there really. Let's see. FCLB NBCE annual conference is coming up, as some of you know. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to obtain a scholarship for that meeting, and so I won't be able to attend. But I will be available if folks, delegates, and alternates have any questions of me or the process, because this is the time of the merger or the joining of the two entities. So if you have any questions, just let me know. And I know NBC and FCLB have been reaching out to let everyone be part of those town halls and those discussions.
Which is today, unfortunately.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. It was today. And I was actually able to, I was on vacation in February. I actually took vacation and somehow I found myself in Greeley at the NBCE FCLB campus. So got a tour of their new construction because, they're bringing all the on-site testing, and it is really impressive. I'm really interested to see how that works for so many different testing kind of units and students and the practitioners. So it's really interesting to see. Krista, you want to give us an Inlumen update?
Yes, Cass, before I do that,
Yeah.
Heidi reached out to me that she and Sherry Lauer need an invite to the board meeting.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to get that. Okay.
Yep.
For Inlumen, we're no longer doing a lot of paper applications for those individuals who are experiencing issues. And because of that, we're seeing a higher volume of system glitches, particularly with the DC renewals. Many of those issues are intermittent, but what we're finding is that they get resolved, but then they reappear. So that has been pretty difficult on Miriam, but she's getting through them all and she's making all the deadlines, but it does add another layer to her workload. In addition, this resulted, I think, in just talking with Miriam and the staff, a lot of frustration that we're seeing, especially on the DC side when they're renewing their licenses, is caused a substantial amount of workload on the OBCE staff, like I mentioned, and that's particularly true during peak periods like the beginning of the month or the ending of the month. So I'm going to tell you that after working on the system for 10 months now, it's clear that the system went live with known issues. And that was based on the vendor's recommendation that those issues would be solved and resolved once it's launched. That approach has not worked. It continues to be a direct source, I think, of many of the problems that we're managing today. So I've mentioned it before, but we've engaged extensively with DAS IT oversight on this over the last several months to find out and evaluate our options and to seek guidance on what we can do. And based on their work, this last month, they came back to me and that their conclusion was that since the system is live, that the remaining path forward has to be through contract management and vendor remediation. So while I think we're making progress in real targeted areas, and you can see that, those improvements that you see have really required persistent follow-up. We've strengthened, I think, our internal controls by doing it as a group. And I think we're holding Inlumen to clearer expectations for resolution. So what I can tell you that all of us as a group, we continue to press Inlumen for measurable improvements, and we continue to try to hold the vendor accountable for their performance. So this was my Debbie Downer one. So
well, and let me add, I'm not sure if this is an upper or if this is a it could be worse. So because we have Inlumen, we actually have a system in place. If we had gone with Thentia, which 15 of our boards went with Thentia back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, when we were analyzing them. And right now, Thentia themselves essentially have imploded, and 15 of our licensing boards are scrambling to find workable systems. And so DAS IT is actively working on trying to come up with solutions for them. So that's why we're going to put our issues on hold a minute with DAS, because they are truly just scrambling and doing kind of yeoman's work of trying to get everything up and running for these 15 boards. So it could be worse, I guess is my point. So at least we have something that's kind of workable, that we're trying to improve on, that's getting folks licensed, that we're able to track. And so, I mean, all of that, unfortunately, we are in the world we're in. And so we'll be having those conversations, but not right at the moment. We're going to give DAS IT a minute to breathe.
Well, I did it about 3 weeks ago and mine went just fine. So,
Oh, fabulous.
so
Well, that's
one for
good to
one
hear.
for me.
Is scared of you, Karen. And then, so the only kind of interesting thing about today's meeting is my evaluation. And so we're going to go into executive session at 10 a.m. And Karen, you'll read that intro excerpt from our agenda to do that. And Heidi Steiner and Sherry Lauer, we're going to be participating in that from DAS HR. So that will happen in exec. But that is your executive agenda, or exec staff report.
Okay. All right. I don't, let's see, Vern's not on. I don't think.
There is a
Vern.
phone number that's on, but I'm not sure if that's Vern. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's initials that I don't. Oh, hi, John. Yeah, initials that are not Vern's.
Am
and
I
I don't-
muted? Can you hear me? This is Sharon Fuchs. I'm on the
Oh.
phone. Your Microsoft Teams link does not work on the website. So I'm on the phone. That's me, SF, Sharon Fuchs. Thanks.
Thanks. Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in the materials unless I missed it, for an OCA update.
No, there wasn't any
So-
submitted written for OCA. Vern was planning on showing up, I think, about 8:30 or so.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so.
And I know this is, I mean, he's probably just coming off this short session, and so I don't know if he's scrambling or not.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
So if he pops on. And then, so I guess we can skip to the UWS update, which I also didn't see, and I don't know if KL or if anybody else is on here from UWS that has an update.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah,
So, and that,
Okay.
I'm getting my months confused now. We had some in January, so it must have just been that yeah, anyway. So no update.
okay. Well, let's see. All right, so it's 8:47. Is there anything we can pop ahead to before rule at 9? Anything in the discussion and action items? Think that's either of those are too long to get into before rule hearing or correspond? Well,
The reportable offenses and history disclosure guide, that's ratification. I'm not sure.
you want to jump into that?
Sure.
I heard something, but
Yeah.
okay.
That was
Yeah,
my husband. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh.
muting myself.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Sharon, I just went on the website. Which link are you looking? Did you not have success on? Was it the agenda? Was it the meeting notice?
It was the meeting notice under March
Okay.
19th. So I tried
Okay.
that, and then I just checked on the materials, and it's the same number. So I did not click on it. I was on the phone by that time, but I Tried
Okay.
several times. I used Microsoft Teams and it just says the number is not valid.
Okay, that helps me out. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's jump ahead then to the reportable offenses and history disclosure guide.
Where is that?
I'm gonna share my screen here in
Okay,
just a
thanks,
second, once I get them to open fully. Okay. Ha, here we go. And over here. Okay, so this is the disclosure guide that we have posted pretty much. What people do and don't need to this is the one. Here it is. So this is the draft that I made. Can I do these side by side? I'm sorry.
The cute puppy
Okay.
is your screensaver.
Thank you. I was wondering if people could see screensavers. Now I know. So the one here on the right is the before. This is what was posted. I think it might even still be posted on our website. And it was part of the application of like what for people that when they answer the question of like, have you been charged with or convicted of a misdemeanor or felony, what we're looking for, what they can need to say yes to or not. And
Well,
so
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but this is an artifact from our paper applications, right? I mean,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
old time, like this was the document that was, you got handed when you applied.
Yeah,
So
it was
it's
it was
old.
part of the application. I'm pretty sure people probably skimmed over it. So what I did, I took that and I rewrote it on over here so that you can kind of see what if anything needs to be changed, that we can edit it. But it's basically the same information. I put the stuff in alphabetical order, things like that. So and the final copy won't have all of the letterhead on every page. That is a issue I've been having problems with, but we can look at it where how do you do like
You just have to click to the left of the document, like
really
in the margin right there, and it will clean it up. Yeah, no, on the document itself,
the document?
you just kind of click on that line that shows the corrections.
A line. Okay.
There you go. Whoop.
Okay. Thank you. You'll have to tell
There
me
you go.
that again. Sure. Okay. So I was looking at is going from this over here to this over here. So if you want to read through it, give me any feedback or how we want to edit it. This I think will probably the final document, just because we've been having a little bit of issues adding new tabs to I don't know if we just have this on the website then, or how we would implement this into the applications. We did add a couple new tabs. We're having a little bit of issue. We can add this as a tab though in the application, as just another one that they have to sign that they've read this kind of thing, or we just have it on the website for people that have questions about their background history and what they need to disclose.
Yeah, it would seem that it would make sense to have it on the website. I don't know if it's really necessary to have part of the application packet itself.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, it's kind of a board decision, however you want applicants to learn this information. Really what it does is it gives them a heads up, and actually with our new rule about the pre-certification or the pre-application piece for criminal history, this also could play in. So if it's purely just part of the application, then the public doesn't have access to what we're looking at either. The only change that I'd make, Heather, on the new version, the red line version, would for the ceiling or setting aside, you could also include expungement there. Oh, I'm
So
sorry,
have these
it's above.
all-
Thank you. Thank you. Close reading. Yep, perfect.
Because when I looked into it, I was like, these are all kind of different. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, that's been expunged. And well, if it was expunged, then send me your expungement papers because it came back on your background check. And so we need documentation. And sometimes they did. They had it expunged or whatever, so they send that paper over and okay, yeah, that's what we need. But
A lot of times folks, when they're going through the criminal process, just assume that things are expunged because their attorneys tell them that they can be, and they're not understanding that they actually need to go through the second process. So,
I think that's good. I see that at work a lot.
yeah. So what does the board want to do? Do you want to have this part of the application in Lumen, or do we want to put it on the website, or both? We could do both.
I like the idea of both if it's not too much trouble. Just, the more bases are covered or the more places somebody can see it.
What would be the downside to putting it in both?
None, other than Lumen itself is really clunky right now, and so we have kind of programming issues with new tabs and new documents that are added to the existing structure. But
Well, do we want to start on the website and when it feels like in Lumen's more under control, throw it up on there?
yeah, I think that's probably the smartest way to do it.
we could have
I'm
this
gonna
as a
be
back,
honest.
like a back ticket.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want to be honest, because every time we seem to try to want to improve in Lumen, and it seems to cause another back issue.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried about causing issues that aren't there, even if we're trying to make it better at this point.
Mhm.
But we're making progress again. I'm going to be positive because we are.
I really appreciated the back issue pun. And the chiropractic term. And so you are making it fun right there. That was super fun.
Well, then,
So we
yeah,
could-
let's
Yeah, I think just
let's put it on the website and then we'll save it for phase 2 of the treatment plan. We'll put it in Lumen.
All right.
We
Awesome.
do
And
have
so
a
the-
whole, we do have a whole folder of things that once it gets smooth, that we're going to then enact. Yeah. So we are not forgetting about it.
Okay, I like it. All right,
Yeah.
4 or 5 minute bio break,
Yes, that works.
and then we'll come back and move into rule hearing.
Come back at
Did you
9.
need to ratify that or not?
No, we're
just
we're
say,
good, Krista. Yeah,
okay.
thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay, I'm back in just a few.
Yep. See you guys at 9.